What's up, everybody? My name is Vince. Welcome to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to show you something, teach you something, share something with you. That DeWalt, Milwaukee, Bosch, Skill Saw, Diablo, Lennox, Freud, they don't want you to know. This is highly sensitive information that could possibly have a big black van on its way over to this shop to have a little talk with us. We're sharing it with you. Share it with everybody before it gets deleted and we go away for a really long time. Help! So here's the deal. We have our Skill Saw worm drive, 7¼ inch saw. It literally has a finish blade on it with a whole lot of teethuses. The problem is, when we used this saw blade, you could see it has some extreme heating in the heat vents here, and it has a lot of gumming in the carbides. And what we did with this blade was we cut a pre-finished countertop with it. We can illustrate how bad of a shape this blade is. We'll try to make a test cut through this piece of plywood. So, it did it. I mean, look at that. There's an enormous amount of burning. If you could only smell what I could smell, you could almost see a wave in the cut. And I'm not talking like a straight wave. I'm talking about in this area, like there was deflection. It doesn't have much wear on it, relatively speaking. Well, not a ton of cuts made with this. But the reality is, it's just not suitable to make cuts in the condition that it is in. I want to show you a trick to saving this blade. We're going to pull the battery off of this unbelievably powerful circular saw because I like all my fingers where they're at. We're going to take the blade off of the tool. You might have noticed the blade change on our worm drive Skill Saw is a little different than maybe a standard sidewinder or something of that nature. If you wanted to find out why or the maintenance of this saw, go to this video here, check that out. You could see, like, it's the blade is in bad shape, but it really doesn't have that many miles on it. And how can you tell it doesn't have that many miles on it? If you look at the carbides, these are the carbides, you'll see that they're all intact. There's literally no broken or chipped carbides if we look at this. Now, here's the deal. Why is this blade not cutting? The blade is not cutting because if we look at the carbides themselves, you'll see a buildup of residue. Now, I mean, it's really, really prominent here. Now, here's the deal. What is that residue? That residue is adhesive. Because we cut through laminate countertop, prefab laminate countertop, adhesive gunked up the carbides. Now this could happen with any saw blades. After cutting material over time, you can get your carbides gunked up. Carbides are still in good shape, but they need to be cleaned. So, let me show you what we can do to make that happen and get this saw blade back up into service. To clean the saw blade, you're only going to need a couple of things. You're going to need some simple cleaner. We're going to go over that. You need something like this pail lid. In here is another example of a blade that we're going to have to clean. This is a 10-inch DeWalt blade. And you'll see we're cutting prefab floor or engineered flooring. And you'll see all the carbides in this blade are in good shape, but they have a residue built up. And it's just a simple matter of that engineered floor has all types of things, adhesives, formaldehyde, all kinds of crazy stuff in it that will gum up the carbides, and then the saw blade won't cut as well because of the gumming. See it all? Look at that. What we're going to do is we're going to take our blade, we're going to throw it here in our little spackle container lid. We're going to get a cleaner degreaser like Formula 409 here. We're going to spray our blade Now, you could do one of two things here. I mean, we've really saturated that blade. You can get a little bit of water and submerge the blade with a mixture of like 409. We're gonna let that sit. We're gonna let it sit for like 10 minutes and just let this cleaner, the greaser. No, this video is not sponsored by Formula 409, but if you're watching Formula 409, we like your product. Around the blade on the edges, you'll see that Formula 409 already removes some of that heat spot toward the teethuses of the blade. But we're going to let that soak in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We're going to come back. Okay. You're going to have a few minutes. You might want to wrangle up a few of the things that we're using here. So I will show you what else you're going to need. We have a brass brush. Okay. We're going to use that to scrub the rest of the teethuses. Okay. And we have some steel wool because I want to clean up those heat spots if I can. We're going to see. We'll be back with you in a minute. Look at the non-sponsored liquid in our lid here. Now, if you look at the carbides, you'll see that it's already brightened up those carbides and took a lot of the gunk off, even without using the brush. But let me flip this over. You know, even the blade here. Look at that. Look at what? Look at that discoloration just coming right off. Pretty awesome. All right. We still want to, for the stubborn parts of the carbide, we want to brush off. And you'll see, see it's brightening up them carbides. Okay. Look here. We're going to brighten up. We want to clean those carbides. We're going to go with the direction, in the same direction as the saw blade. Okay. But you could see, like now that we got that gunk off of the carbides, the blade itself is in really, I mean, it's not in bad shape. But let's do the same thing. We want to go in the direction of the saw blade. See all that discoloration coming right off. That gumming is what's keeping the blade from cutting. You can go in the direction of the teethuses at this point to get that residual gumming. I like to keep it in the solution. This way, it's helping to carry that debris away from the carbide. I'm going to flip it over again. I don't want to scrub back and forth. I just want to go in just against the grain. I don't want to work on that carbide so much that we could potentially, I don't know, maybe dull the carbide. I mean, I don't know. I just have always just got good results by following the process that I'm doing. Now, we're mostly concerned with the carbides, though. And are they clean? They are pretty clean. We could rinse them. I only use pure spring water from Poland Springs. They're not sponsoring this video either, to clean my blades. I don't want regular tap water to touch my blades. Psych, I'm only kidding. This is just an empty bottle. I filled it back up with tap water. If you are still gummed up, you could just put it back into your solution, okay? And then just, I would suggest giving it a once over again. I mean, you could see the color of this water. And saw blades aren't inexpensive, but that's what's keeping this debris, keeping the blade from cutting. I mean, that carbide looks nice and clean. I guess now it's time to throw it on the saw and see how it does. I will tell you this much. It is missing that nice red paint job on the inside, at least. That could keep it from running as cool. I don't know, I'm just saying. It could potentially. Now, if you really wanted to brighten this thing up, you could get some steel wool. Before you run the blade, though, I will say you're going to want to definitely make sure it's dry. You don't want the blade to gum back up by being wet. You could see, especially around those heat vents, whatever the heck they're called, we're getting some of that debris off. So we're just gonna dry this blade up. I'll throw it on the saw, and we'll make a test cut with it. Like I said, the reason I want it dry is I don't want the blade to gum back up. But look at that. A little bit of cleaner, and you could use any cleaner. You could use 409, you could use Simple Green. Look at how clean those carbides, and they're all intact. They're all intact, they're not broken. Now, if you have broken carbides, maybe your blade is shot. But that's why I'm telling you, the tool manufacturers want you to believe that we live in a disposable society. You know, the blade's not cutting anymore. Throw it away and buy a new one. Though that's why DeWalt, Milwaukee, Lennox, Diablo, they don't want you to know this information. Look at the size of the carbides on this Diablo blade as well. You know, Diablo makes all their own carbide, right? They make their own carbides for these blades, and they put them on these blades. Look at the size of them. Their carbides are bigger than other brands. So they last longer, Diablo. So a simple cleaning will keep this blade running longer, right, Diablo? So we don't have to buy a new blade now, do we, Diablo? You don't want the people to know this, do you? Do you? Do you know what Diablo stands for? Leave it down in the comment section below if you do know. The reality is, previously, I couldn't move through any quicker. The cut itself is much better. Previously, we had waves, like the saw blade was deflecting because I was trying to push it through its cut. We don't have that anymore. The blade is really responded well to its cleaning, and it's ready to make plenty more cuts. And if you like saving money on tools and making more money when you invest money in quality, smash the like button. Also, leave it down below. What do you use to clean your saw blades? Do you clean your saw blades? Did you just used to throw them away and get new ones? Will you be trying to clean your blades? I'm going to tell you this much right now. These 10-inch blades cost a lot more money, and this one needs a real cleaning. I'm going to get to it. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you all on the next one. Video's over, but I know you want more. So this is how you're going to get it. First thing you need to do is pretend you're this guy. And you're here at the birthplace of freedom. Now ring that bell like it's 1776 and let all notifications through. What? You're not subscribed yet? Well, smash this button here. After that, watch this video here, and maybe over here. See you later.